What up, everybody? A few years ago, Power showrunner Courtney Kemp did a live Q&A on Instagram when she was asked the question, did Ghost have a sister? And her reply was, no, not a sister, hint, 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 giving us the clue that Ghost has a brother out there in the Power universe somewhere. When I've addressed this topic before in the past, I sometimes get people in the comments saying that Tommy said Ghost's brother was Spanish in OG Power. But I've watched Power all the way through probably at least 10 times, and I've never heard that mentioned once. So I'm pretty sure that was never said in Power, but that was just a rumor. If it was said, please let me know what episode it was said in. As far as I know, there was never any mentioning in Power or any of the spin-offs of Ghost having a brother, either though he constantly called Tommy his brother and vice versa, and Ghost kids even called Tommy Uncle Tommy. And Tommy said this concerning Ghost's family at the end of Power Season 2, that Ghost had a drunk for a dad and no mom. And when Tommy said this, it bothered Ghost to the point he pointed his gun at Tommy. So Tommy knew that that statement was going to get a rise out of Ghost. So we don't know the extent of Ghost's relationship with his mother, whether she left soon after he was born like Kate did with JP and Kenya did with Jukebox, or if she was possibly in the picture for a while and then abandoned her family. So in this video, I have a list of Power characters who could potentially be Ghost's mystery brother, and also keep in mind his mystery brother might be a half-brother, so they might have different last names, and I think it most likely is a half-brother, and his mother probably started a new family after she left his father. The first character I can potentially see as Ghost's brother is a character named Victor, who is last seen in Power Season 3, Episode 7. But as far as I know, Victor is still alive. Victor was last seen after Milan first showed up on the scene at one of Ghost and Tommy's spots and cuffed all their men. If Victor was Ghost's brother, this would make sense that he wasn't seen anymore after Milan showed up, because Ghost would have wanted to protect his brother, and that's why he sent him away, just like how he broke up with Angela because of Milan. Victor was somebody who was definitely very close to Ghost and Tommy. He knew who Ghost was. He knew that he was Ghost. Ghost even killed Miguel Alvarez right in front of Victor in episode 1. So that shows how much Ghost trusted Victor. And speaking about trusting Victor, Victor was one of the only people that Ghost and Tommy let oversee their money spot. The next character who could potentially be Ghost's mystery brother is Dante Spears, aka Mecca. Mecca and Ghost had very similar personalities, and Mecca even once told Tariq that he knew about his uncle, Tommy, he knew about his dad, Ghost, and Mecca even knew that Tariq shot Ghost. And to this day, it's never been revealed how Mecca knew all this information. Some say it's because he was Blanca's CI, or because he worked for Lobos. But that still wouldn't explain how he knew Tariq called Tommy his uncle, and how he knew that Tariq shot Ghost. Then also keep in mind that Mecca already knew Tariq's backstory before anyone else did. Mecca watched Kane meet up with Brayden from a distance, then asked him to give him the scoop, and Kane said that Brayden was some rich white kid. When Mecca replied, Brayden was the rich white kid, and Tariq had been good friends with him for years now. Again, another question. How did Mecca know that Tariq and Brayden had been good friends for years? We know that Mecca grew up in the game, but was arrested around the age of 16 or 17 and was sent to the military, where he eventually got all his connections like Lobos and Noma. The next character considered as Ghost's brother is RSJ. RSJ started mentioning Tariq's father James St. Patrick to Tariq from their first meeting together, and even mentioned that his father was killed just like Ghost's father. And he continued to bring up this to Tariq, even saying that he'd be lying if he said he wasn't familiar with Tariq's father and his story. RSJ even wanted to purchase the same building that Ghost purchased that became the QCP, that was formerly Ghost's father and his Uncle Gabe's bar, that also had an apartment building connected to it where Ghost grew up. But like I said in another video, I think the RSJ to Tommy connection was revealed in Force Season 2 as Tommy's next door neighbor, because Tommy mentioned to Kate stealing from poor Miss Jenkins next door. And that would be how RSJ knew Ghost, because Ghost lived with Tommy and Kate after his father died. getting me to Marcus Zion Washington, another character who knew Ghost and Tommy and knew that James St. Patrick was Ghost because he connected Tariq St. Patrick to Ghost based upon his last name. Either though I think it's more than likely that Zion is related to D-Wiz, it would be interesting if Ghost was related to the Washington family in some type of way. And we also know that Zion is from Queens because that's where his fight club was that he grew up fighting in. Something interesting that Zion said to Tariq was he found it funny that Tariq went and found him a white boy just like Ghost. A statement like that makes me think that Zion and Ghost were close at one point, and Zion was even possibly jealous of Ghost and Tommy's friendship/brotherhood. Getting me to a character who was connected to Zion and likely also grew up on the Southside Jamaica, Queens, because he was connected not only to Zion but also to Paz Valdez, and that's Detective Don Carter. Like Mecca, Carter had a lot of similarities to Ghost. Both were trying to live by some twisted moral code. They both lost the woman they loved, and Ghost used to have hallucinations while Carter was still speaking to his wife after she was dead like she was still there. Then there's the fact that Carter told Tariq he smelled just like his father, James St. Patrick. This was most likely talking about figuratively, saying that they're both criminals. But if he was talking literally, smelling like him, that could have definitely been a clue that Carter was Ghost's brother. Then there's Tommy Egan and his brother JP, and I don't put Ghost being the third brother out of the realm of possibility, because we already know that Kate abandoned JP at the hospital soon after she gave birth to him, and could have done the same thing with Ghost. So maybe James and Tommy were real brothers this entire time, but the two just never knew about it. And that's why Kate had such a liking to Ghost. Then also keep in mind when Kate discovered Tommy was alive in Chicago, she straight up told him, "You already killed one brother. Are you here to kill another?" And at the end of OG Power, when she thought Tommy killed Ghost, she wanted nothing to do with him and was going through mourning similar to how she was when she thought D-Mac was dead. If Kate is Jamie's mother, that means she had JP when she was 14. She had Tommy when she was 16. And that means she would have had Ghost either right before she gave birth to Tommy or right after. Likely within a year apart because of the fact they were in the same grade. Keep it in mind that Tommy told Kanan he was a late bloomer. This possibly had something to do with him being born prematurely from Kate giving so many births within a short time period. And before I go, I want to bring up one more theory, even though I think this is the least likely out of them all, I still want to include it. And that is Kanan was Ghost's real brother and Rock was his mother. Keep in mind that Jukebox once told Kanan that there were secrets that their family had. Secrets that Kanan didn't want to know. Rock also once told Jukebox that she could relate to how Kenya abandoned Jukebox, not being ready to be a mother. This would have made Rock pregnant with Ghost when Kanan was around 4 or 5 years old and Jukebox would have been around 6 or 7, possibly around the time that Marvin was locked up. I feel like both Kanan and Jukebox would have still been too young that if Rock lied to them and never said she was pregnant, that they would have never known. Then for whatever reason, Ghost ended up with his father and Rock never looked back, similar to Kenya with Jukebox or Kate with JP. Also keeping in mind that Sean called Ghost his Uncle G. Either though Ghost and Kanan would have never known that they were brothers, this might have still been a clue. And one thing concerning both Rock and Kate is that they already have a history of hiding the truth from their sons. Kate never told Tommy the truth about his brother, father, or grandmother, and Rock lied to Kanan about who his real father was. And there you have it. Let me know who you think Ghost's mystery brother is in the comments section, as well as your thoughts, theories, and predictions.